honey.
Your honey's over in the corner. He winked at you. I hope he winked at you.
He said
don't
he
want
was
up here to help you.
whoever.
Because I'm going to tell you.
You got our curl. I sit behind her at the funeral.
Come in under this.
You know, he was behind me.
We won't even.
I was a little younger. I was a grown person. I didn't notice. So anybody that didn't come to my
Come back
class.
to the board or something else. So,
6 o'clock. Okay. Good evening, everyone. We're now calling our meeting to order. City Council meeting Monday, August the 19th, 2024. It's 6 o'clock. At this time, we will open with a prayer, an invocation, and a pledge.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you this afternoon, and we ask you for your wisdom, your leading, and your guidance through the meetings tonight. Lord, we desire your presence here with us tonight. We thank you for all that are here as we strive to take care of the business for our city and ultimately for our community. And Lord, we ask you to forgive us where we failed you. And we just ask you to bless this meeting tonight. In Christ Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we would like to thank so many of you, all of you, for coming, and I will apologize on behalf of, but not apologize, but Mr. Councilman Johnson was with family. They had a death in the family, and they were taking care of family business, and he did apologize for not being able to attend, but we ask that you pray with them during this time of bereavement. And with that being said, thank you all for coming. We have a real lengthy agenda tonight, but we're going to get through by the grace of God. And so we have comments. Before we go to that, to our direct comments from the audience, I would like to recognize a guest that we have here. Well, we got a couple of guests, but we're recognizing the Latexo High School, their graphic design. If they're standing, kind of come forward, if you look back. They're now in a new class, and they'll just be taking pictures here tonight, and they're learning Peyton, Pierce, and Lawrence. Okay, I didn't write this. I think the reporter wrote it down. No, Mendez, and thank you so much for coming. We hope that you'll get something beneficial for your class. With that being said, at this time we are up to our comments from the audience, and we're kind of pressed in here. We will remind you that as well as you, we love the cheering and all that for the section, but try to keep it to a minimum in this chambers. Once the person is up to speak, we will ask that you cease doing that. And thank you so much. At this time, we have Virginia Lewis. With me again.
I'm going to surprise all of y'all tonight. I want to say thank you. Mr. Morris, you've been on this council for a long time. You've been faithful. I really believe that you got the best you can from your heart to do what's right in this community. I believe you love it. Care for it. Thank you. Mr. Angerstein, I want to say thank you for informing the council members of what their legal rights are, trying to keep them and protect them from winding up in lawsuits. Dr. Fisher, Mayor, I want to thank you for trying to be the go-between for all of this, trying to explain to people what's involved here and the consequences of what's being involved. And Dennis, Councilman, still always be Dennis to me. But thank you for serving. You haven't been on here long, but you've been here and you've been faithful, and I thank you for it. And for the others, Mr. Johnson hasn't been here long either, but I hope and pray that he will grow and learn what he can about everything that's going on with the city and what y'all need to do to benefit the citizens of this community. And I want to say to the other two of you, we need to step forward, do what's the best interest of the community, not your own personal agendas. And you know, we've come a long way. This hadn't just happened. And I want to say thank you to all these people that show up every month to try to inform y'all and let you know what our concerns are and how important our community is. And also how important each one of you are. And each one of you represent different segments, but we're all one body. And we're all citizens of this community. And we should be looking forward to doing what's best for our community. And with that, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to say anything except thank you to all of you that came out tonight. And I want to say thank you to every one of you that's worked hard to get this petition set out there in that sun. And I want to say thank you to everyone that signed it. You know, over 500 people. This is not peanuts, folks. This is interest. And I want to say thank you to y'all for coming forward, expressing your opinion, expressing your concerns, where you agree and disagree. You had the right to voice your opinion, and thank you for that.
Thank you. At this time, Bertha Harris.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm Bertha Harris, and I own property at 6 and Peace. So there's this big ditch in front of my yard, and it floods. So when it rained, the last time it rained, it was like knee-deep. So the lieutenant came out, and I put the barricade out, and he helped me put the barricade out. But I've been going back and forth with the city about this issue for a long time. And I understand that it's gonna be like, amount of money and, you know, a big amount. But it flooded my house, my insurance dropped me from when I first bought the house. So in 90 days, they dropped me because they had to put rails up around the ditch. The ditch is like 5 foot deep across and probably 4 foot, 5 foot deep and 4 foot wide. And it goes around. And I also have another neighbor here, and it floods in front of her house. So it goes from like the corner of Peace all the way down to 6, and it's like 3 houses right there where it floods. So we really need to do it, and the work order's been in, Ms. Christie can tell you, probably for like 3 years. So we need to do something about it.
Thank you. John Jenkins.
Mayor and City Council, I'm here tonight to talk about the issue that seemingly that everybody is concerned about as far as this economical development and what it's doing and how it's working out. I don't know, I'm looking around and...
You can speak to the...
it's a public meeting.
Yes, and you may speak to the council,
Okay,
but not to the public at this time. You're speaking to the
It's a
council.
public meeting.
Yes, it is,
All
sir.
right? Now,
And
if
you're
I-
using up more of your
I
time.
do 4 years to die, possibly for you and the other...
Okay, well, we appreciate it, but right now, you have 3 minutes to complete it.
Now I'm supposed to be catered down and be part of it.
You're using up your time.
Ma'am,
You're using your 3 minutes.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
You are using your 3 minutes.
Okay, all right, what I'm saying is, the economic
Continue.
development situation has been a somewhat, as far as a little bit of an, whatever you want to say it, because it wasn't not taken care of from the beginning in 1995. I was here. I voted for it. I was in favor of it because I came here to offer jobs and whatever. But I mean, man, what I'm going to say is there have been 6 or 7 directors out there, and all of a sudden we seem to be in a problem. They used part of my idea to open up that college out there. Tim Cope did. I mean, I can give you all the readings on it. And then, like I said, Mr. Gentry and I tried to save the college, and we got a negative note because we weren't teaching young adults to go out and go to work. Everybody was supposed to go to college. And again, I'm sorry, and I'm not being derogatory, but the level here is not everybody's family can afford to send them to college. They need a job. And jobs, to get jobs here, you have to have people that work. And if, you know, again, if they can't work or don't have the ability to understand that, then they're not gonna come here. I mean, we're giving away, we didn't give away a lot of the property that was there, the dealership, whatever the situation is. This last deal is one that, it's above me. I'm a businessman, have been one for 10 years, 60 years. And I'm financially responsible and whatever. And I've been responsible to most of the councils, the hospital, I was there, I was with the school board as far as the deal. And again, you know, as far as, what I'm saying is we need to look at this, public, we need to say that where are we as far as doing this, because we have some.
Your conversation is with the council.
Ma'am?
It's with the council. You, go ahead. You have few more seconds.
We have someone now that did look at things, and again, if we had not shared a meeting out there at the Civic Center about what we needed to do to try to save and get people educated here and get a job, then I was part of that part of it. So now, I mean, you know.
Thank you.
You know yourself, Mayor.
Thank you.
I talked to you in 95.
Thank you.
Ma'am?
Yes, your 3 minutes.
All right. Do we remember the conversation?
Thank you.
In 95?
Thank you.
All right.
Have a seat, please. At this time, Stephen Wales.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and City Administrator. Once again, an important matter is before you to decide. The signatures required to have in place the decision to dissolve the CIDC. The vote of the people has been met. The citizens you represent have spoken. It is now your duty as public servants to listen to the will of the people and not your own agendas. In previous budget meeting, concern for the money spent on public safety items that had been in works for a significant amount of time was shown and common sense prevailed. Imagine the amounts of money wasted on the CIDC and how it could be used in more meaningful ways. I know you all do the right thing. If not, I know that those that vote not to let the voice of the citizens be heard on this matter will face legal action where you will not be defended by the city, by dollars, or by lawyers. I again implore you to set aside personal agendas and do your job as public servants. There has been more than enough time, energy, and money spent dealing with a plethora of issues identified with the CIDC. It is now time to do your civic duty and allow the voice of the citizens to be heard on this matter. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you. Jonathan Barnes.
Good evening. Mayor Fisher, City Administrator, Council members. My name is Jonathan Barnes. I'm a resident of Precinct 1 in Crockett, Texas. I'm here tonight to discuss the petition for abolishment of the CIDC. Everything else on the agenda is excellent things. I think that they need to be discussed and considered. As you're aware, the petition has garnered sufficient signatures to warrant consideration for placement on the ballot. I respectfully request that each of you carefully consider the significance of this petition. It is essential to understand that the petition does not seek to permanently abolish the CIDC, but rather to address the current distrust between the public and the corporation itself. By placing the issue on the ballot, you will allow our citizens of Crockett to exercise their right to vote and decide for the future of the CIDC. I emphasize that this decision should be made by the people, not solely by the council. It is crucial to respect the political process and allow the community to voice their opinion. I would like to remind you that voting against placing this issue on the ballot may be perceived as disregarding the community's concern and denying them the right to participate in this decision. Furthermore, I have been informed that some individuals may be seeking legal action against council members personally who vote against placing this issue on the ballot. As stated in Texas Local Government Code, Chapter H, Section 504.351, you are required to place this on the ballot. Voting against it may result in personal, out-of-pocket legal consequences. And I'm just up here to try to be a voice for the city, and I urge you to recommend and place the abolishment of the CIDC on the ballot. This will allow our citizens of Crockett to make an informed decision about the future of our city. Thank you for your time, consideration. I trust that you will make a decision that reflects the will of the people. God bless you all, and I yield the remainder of my time.
Diane Rome.
Mayor and City Council, today is a sad day for Crockett and for Houston County. And it's sad because this all was preventable. I want to ask yourself, what has economic development brought to the city of Crockett? Not much, and those who came are now gone. Waste of taxpayers' money. The city has accomplished more lately since economic development is inactive. So my question is, why do we even need them? All of us want economic development, but real development, not corruption at its finest. Folks, we're not on a rabbit hunt. The $150,000 forensic audit laid it all out, as well as the corrective action plan. Why was all of this money wasted? They could have saved us a lot of time and money if they had just been honest and done the right thing. It's simple. You can't spend money that doesn't belong to you. And you certainly should not be rewarded for doing it. And then to discover that you're being sued for $1 million. Hard to believe we have come to this point in the city. A total disgrace. Contrary to Ms. Hicks and Mr. Jones, the money does not belong to you. The city does have authority over economic development. And on that note, I believe that Ms. Hicks and Mr. Jones should not be allowed to vote on any issue concerning economic development. They both have a direct conflict of interest. I'm here to ask the council, when you go into your executive session tonight, to make decisions that affects all of us while we wait in the foyer or sit under a tree, giving the voters the right to place this petition on the November ballot. It will determine if the citizens have a voice or is it just for the select few. God help this city.
Thank you. At this time, brings us to our approval of minutes. Each one has each one has a copy of the minutes. If you.
Only thing I had, Mayor, on the copy of on the minutes for which I guess we could get.
I said what page? Yeah, pull your mic over in front of you.
What I have available, what I have concern with is page 6, I believe. Let me see.
Okay, you can speak into the.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We have an obligation.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me?
Okay, well, you don't have to dialogue with them, just speak. It's not necessary.
Okay.
You said page 6, which one?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Oh, okay. Where it basically stated that I was trying to get clarity on the voting issue about when I abstained from voting. And Mr. Einstein stated that I had to give a vote, that I could not give a no vote. And so I'm asking.
It is not a no vote. It's either yes, or yay, or nay. If you don't vote, then it goes to no.
Automatic goes to no.
It's automatic.
Okay, that's what my question was.
We're ruled by affirmative votes.
Okay.
Under Robert's Rules of Order, it's affirmative votes is what takes action. So a lack of affirmative vote, whether it be by abstaining to vote or a no vote,
I want to say,
those aren't.
I want to say that we don't have Robert Rules of Order.
Yes, but
It hasn't been approved for council. I just want to make that clear. Not going against what you're saying, but you mentioned Robert Rules of Order, and we don't have that. That's not in place.
And that's basically we haven't adopted fully, but in case of an answer, we look to it for the answer. But it is a yes or no. Anything else?
No, that was my,
Okay.
that was my concern, because I was trying to understand that, if what were the options for his voting.
The only other option is under an abstention due to a conflict of interest. You're allowed to abstain from a vote due to a conflict of interest if it's recorded with the city secretary ahead of time. If you know that an agenda item could be affected, a conflict of interest monetarily or family ties or things of that nature, then you can record a conflict of interest, and then your abstention it doesn't get counted against you.
Any other questions about the minutes? Okay. Can we get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the meeting August 5th,
I second.
2014.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to the reports. Police Department Manpower and Criminal Incident Report for July 2024.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Administrator. Police Department's manpower and criminal activity report for July 2024. A total of 15 officers worked 2,771 hours, responded to 504 calls for service, investigated 5 traffic accidents, made 66 arrests, issued 322 traffic citations, completed 75 reports, responded to 30 alarm calls, 24 of those were false alarms. Below you'll see a breakdown, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
I guess we should ask, how has the heat affected you all?
So far,
Yeah.
so good.
Y'all still safe to drive, right?
So far.
Real good. Any other questions?
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, Fire Department Monthly Activities Status Report.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. For the month of July, we had a total of 39 calls. 29 of those within the city limits, and 10 of those within our county response area. There was no structure fires for the month of July. There's a further breakdown of $20 of each call we went to. If there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Any questions?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Okay, item number 4, Crockett Economic and Industrial Development Corporation Report by the Executive Director, James Gentry. No. Okay, reach. There you go. Okay, don't get them all at 1 second.
Mike, anything?
You said what?
Mike, does he need?
No, I think he is.
No, we have-
No,
have
this
some
was
for
just,
Easter, Mike.
this is just what
Okay.
he was passing to it. No, I think those are all one set.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have an extra one?
Bringing up-to-date report of summary of activities that have transpired over the last 3 months. Our office location plans to resume normal office operation. As soon as the offices are in good working condition, CIDC is still formulating a strategy plan for new office locations if the CIDC cannot remain in the current location. Office phone and forwarding. Until the CIDC has a permanent office and all offices are in good working condition, the phone can be rolled over to my work cell phone, number 903-394-1138. Email and website status. Our new email for CIDC is jjgentry03@gmail.com until we can develop a more formalized account. Presently, the website has been discussed, and we have proposals for reconstruction of our website due to the fact that the age of the website is beyond its coverage at this time, and will be updated with the full operational sector of that as soon as we get the proposals. Document storage and record keeping. We're in in the process of organizing the offices that are in disarray and will notify each of you of the progress of reorganization close to the end of September. We are in the process of implementing a records management retention policy going forward. The Executive Assistant's Office plan and return to work instructions. The Executive Assistant will return to work on September 3rd, 2024. In other business, addressing a former employee's complaint, documentation is being gathered for a full investigation. Since my records were removed and boxed, I'm continuing the retrieval of files. Plans for corrective action plan. Implementation. Bylaws and policy review meeting dates and times. Whenever the attorney of record working on the corrective action plan completes them and they are approved by the Board of Directors of CIDC and the governing body of the City of Crockett, City Council, we will be able to implement the approved CAP or corrective action plan. Projects. Since June of 17th, I have been diligently coordinating with Project Coordinator Nancy Wimman to work closely with her on all active projects, including A&A, which has in the past week activities where they did an overview of their properties that they are developing now with the intent of growing additional buildings on the site. Stealth Vision, Project Atticus, which is being discussed in deliberations right now with the project manager. Foreign trade regional implementation. We're looking at doing a regional foreign trade designation for our area. One of the challenges that we've seen over the years with several projects is not having a foreign trade designation for our area. And with the help of the Texas Forest Partnership, we are looking at making it a regional effort to bring foreign trade designation for our full East Texas region. The rail spur here up to the south of town is in the process of discussions right now, expanding with CRH to accommodate additional tonnage at that rail spur. Along with that, we are also in discussions and have been for some time with the TxDOT looking at US 287. US 287, as most of you that are here today, has been a long-term thoroughfare through East Texas leading all the way to the Panhandle. One of the things that we approached 2 years ago with TxDOT and others was looking at considering putting that in the realm of a high-speed where we will have a interstate highway that will come through our region and allow us to grow the tonnage of transportation through our communities of East Texas, as well as bring a smart internet or interstate to the area with the new technologies that come forward. I am also serving on a work group with TxDOT, and we've had several meetings in terms of that, the viability of doing that and the impacts that it could have on our community is significant. A budget, as you know, last week, 2 weeks ago, we presented the 24-25 budget. It was submitted and passed at the last council meeting. With that, I'll conclude our notes for the day.
Any questions? What we do appreciate is, I know this is getting back into the role of things, and I know a lot of it's going to have as detailed as it is, but it is well noted that there are all of the items that are in progress, and it is going to take some time to balance them out, and so we're looking forward to being balanced. And thank you so much for your report. Okay, item number 5, report and project updates from the city administrator. Sorry.
Mayor and council, we have a few spreadsheets that I was just gonna, I also printed it out for y'all to take home and pull it up on the screen so y'all can see as well, and y'all can ask questions if necessary. But wanted to touch a little bit on some of the ongoing projects that we're currently undergoing. The Texas Water Development Board water line project for East Goliad and East Houston. The engineering on those projects has been completed, and it's under the Texas Water Development Board for approval of the designs that's been submitted to them. As soon as that's done, we should be ready to go out for bid for the water lines for those two streets, and that goes from the loop to the square. That is a big cause. Those are cast iron pipes, the majority of them 4-inch pipes, and that'll really increase our pressure and flow, as well as cut down on some of the discoloring of the water because of the cast iron being eliminated. Our EDA project for water mains, fiber, and streets for South 4th and South 5th Street, those have been completed. The only remaining item on that project list was all the fiber conduits that we've placed in the ground. We need to go out and procure fiber providers, communication companies, to utilize it now and use that as an incentive to help get better access into our downtown area as well as our industrial park for our new tenants. It's actually kind of a reverse bidding project because we won't be paying anything. We're trying to incentivize the providers, without paying them. They can help negotiate down the costs of the upfront construction to any of the tenants or customers. Our SIB project, I have a spreadsheet also. It's I think the third sheet in there, and I'll show that in 1 second. The CDBG project for MLK under the grant program, that's been completed. We're currently doing work on MLK through our State Infrastructure Bank, our SIB program. However, the CDBG grant has been closed out and is finished. Our swimming pool tax note series, like I mentioned to council, right now we have about, at that time they said 90 to 180 days. So we're a couple months into that process, and we're waiting for to see if we get matching grant funds for the swimming pool before we come back to the table and ask, what do y'all want to do and proceed with next on the swimming pool. We did get approved for warning sirens throughout town. I believe 5 or 6 warning sirens will be installed throughout town, tornado warning sirens. And they're smart sirens that are activated remotely and by NOAA as well. So if there's any touchdowns within certain areas of tornadoes or certain things that meet the criteria, they'll automatically activate and be coordinated with our local radio stations and TV stations. That is already, we've been approved, and we're finishing up the design, and we're going out for bid. We're going out for bid on the design, on the tornado sirens, so we should have those installed pretty soon. Animal shelter, tonight I have some additional bids for y'all, but we're going to try to get those completed pretty quickly. The interior painting is done, but we'll talk about the remaining items, but that shouldn't take much longer. We do have another CDBG fund that we're submitting tonight, and we'll talk about that. We also have 2 additional Texas Water Development Board water well and reconstruction of our north wastewater treatment plant. We're finalizing the funding on that, and we'll be coming back. Once that funding is finalized and approved, we'll go out for bid on those projects. These are the streets that council has approved. I have those before you.
Okay. Sycamore? I don't see Sycamore.
No, yes, ma'am. You had requested that we not do Sycamore, and we put Dogwood to finish up the Burtis and West Side.
Okay. Can we discuss that? Mm-hmm. Can we discuss that a little bit further?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can come back with you and you decide, but, so the two that we had already initiated was Burtis and West Side, and those have been tack coated, and we're gonna go forward with the asphalt on those, and then any remaining funds we'll verify.
I'd like to
Okay.
get with you on that with, along
Okay.
with, Mr. Coulter, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
All right. Easy Street and Wilson in Precinct 1. Homewood, so those, Easy Street, we finished the water service lines on Easy. And so that'll be up next to dig the ditches and to reconstruct the road. And I have dates on those. Wilson, we've also done some preliminary work, but we're going to have to go back in there, do the ditches on that, and then rehab those streets. What we're trying to do is, as we finish this budget year, once again, our finances, tax revenue and such, doesn't really come in until January anyway. So as we're finishing up our budget year, we'll probably lapse into October. Just the heavy rains of the spring really pushed us back. So we got started late, so we're going to continue. But we expect all the roads that council had approved and within our budget process to get those done by September and October, and hopefully before our next rainy season and before things cool down on us. But I have the breakdown for you. I know we're running out of time, but Precinct 4, Precinct 5, I have the timeline with the calendars of the dates we're going to be starting and finishing those. And real quick, this one here, that last page, this gives the State Infrastructure Bank. And I know it's really, we blew it up on a bigger sheet and it's still a little tight because there's lots of roads that are being completed under our State Infrastructure Bank. Right now, they finished West Houston. They're in the last stages of finishing MLK. They're doing South 5th and East Bell, from South 4th all the way to Brazos. So two blocks there where they're doing water lines and then reconstruction of the road. Right now, Bell Street is getting mixed and reconstructed with cement. And then it'll have a curing process and they come back with asphalt on top of that. But that's kind of the general working area. And then we have a breakdown of kind of some of the next streets that they'll start working on, including finishing East Bell, South 7th Street, in front of from the Methodist Church down to Janie's Flower Corner, that section, South 10th Street, South Gray Street, North Gray Street. These streets will all be done in the next few months, and I'll keep you all updated on that. Other than that, I think that's kind of catches up on some of our projects. Any questions?
Well, it's encouraging to know that we're getting streets done, and they're not, but what we have found out, they're not as easy to do. They do disrupt lives, and takes a little bit longer to go around, but the end result is well worth it. So we're appreciative that not only did we have local funds, but the grant funds and all of the other funds have really helped to do it. They're not cheap. That's one thing you have to understand about street work. And we do appreciate it. Our workers have really been out. Those that are uncontracted, it's been ugly out there, 100 plus out there. It's just really hot. And so we're appreciative that that they were able to work under those conditions. We just want them to be safe also. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you for that update, Administrator. Brings us to item 6, presentation and possible action regarding the Mary Allen Seminary site.
Mayor, Council, we have Dr. Douglas. She's the board president of the Mary Allen College and Museum. And she has guests, I believe.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It is indeed a privilege to be able to come before you this evening and to share the insights that we have concerning the College on the Hill that was established in 1886. And as you know, there's a building that's still standing there since 1886, and it is a miracle. It is definitely a miracle.
That's a miracle.
And the thing that we are looking at is to see what we can do, and we want community participation and input. I know this has been an arduous task. I know it's been a long task. I know it's a great feat. But all things are possible if you believe. And that's what we are believing, that it is possible. I would like to just say to Honorable Mayor and Ian Fisher, City Manager John Angerstein, City Council women and men.
God bless you.
Chris, we have Chris and Tracy Hudson that's going to be addressing y'all in just a few minutes. They are our architects, and we are blessed to have them as well. We have board members that are here, and I want to thank them all for coming too as well. They may just raise their hand.
You can introduce them if you like.
You want me to introduce them?
Yeah, you
Okay.
may.
All right, thank you. All right, we have our Vice President, Gene Shepard. We have Reverend Dr. I said Reverend Dr.
Ains.
Just introduce yourself.
Ainsworth. Ainsworth.
Come on, stand up, stand up, stand up. He helps us out in so many ways.
Reverend Ainsworth.
Pass.
Ainsworth.
Ainsworth.
Ainsworth, right.
Yes, Reverend
And I said Reverend Doctor, but he calls me that, so I just tease him
Duplicate.
about that. Let's see, do we have any other board members here? Yes, we have Victor Ewan, okay, he's here as well. Do we have anybody else on there? Oh, yes, our our treasurer. She's here with us too as well. Won't you come a little forward, both of y'all, so they can see who you are. Ms. Claiborne? All right, appreciate that.
Thank you.
And so we appreciate you, the citizens of Houston County, as well, being here with us. Like I said, we want to see what we can do for this particular structure on the hill. And I know it's been a long task, and a long time coming. We've had people to work before that we are standing on the shoulders of at this particular time. Our Vice President can attest to that as well. Money has been raised in the past just to even buy the property back. So it takes a lot of money. And we would like the city to help us in making this project a possibility. But we have an architects that have come from Austin, Texas to help us with this. And I think that's really fantastic too.
It is.
For someone to come and say, we want to help you to create, to build, to restore, to bring back something that you've had in this city. I heard the person mention about education. We want to help our students. We want to bring some things back to this city. And I think it's important that we can help them to be able to get jobs. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our architects, and that is Tracy and Chris. Hudson.
Good evening.
Hello, thank you for having us today. We're very excited to be here. My name is Tracy Hirschman-Hudson. This is my partner, Chris Hudson. We are the principals of an architecture firm in Austin that specializes exclusively in providing architectural services for historically significant structures. That's all that we do. We are working with the museum. Mainly we're focusing on, right now, the master plan feasibility study. We kind of want to walk you through what this project is intended to accomplish, what information you'll end up having at the end, and then we're hoping that the city will be able to step up and, kind of help guide the direction of this project so we end up with a product that everybody can, not just proud of, but that you can work with going forward. Who's in charge of the screen? Is that you? Okay. Okay. Okay, so I've already introduced our firm. Basically, we wanted you to be aware of this effort. We're also wanting to try and get citizen feedback to help guide the work in the direction that we're taking this master plan in. We did already pass out surveys to just get some general feedback. We're not at this time asking for anything specific. We're not asking for really a resolution from the board about the project itself. I'm sorry, council. We're just making sure that the community knows about the survey so they can have an avenue to give information to us. building when it's before 1900. It's the original building, the administration building, which are the remains we see on the site today. The second building in the background was the dormitory building burned in 1912. So the goal of our master plan is to create a program that guides the museum in their stewardship over the site.
I didn't understand that.
We're right now focused on this first effort that we've done is we've focused on the existing conditions. We're looking to make recommendations for long-term use of the sites. We're going to evaluate options for preservation for this remaining historic building fabric that we have remaining on the building. May make recommendations for its stabilization and reconstruction. It depends on the kind of feedback we get from the community. The feasibility study is meant to really focus on what the most viable use for the structure is. We're going to break down phases of work. You know, it's going to be whatever is decided. It's going to be an extensive effort. We want to break it down into phases that are manageable. And then also too, this work that we're doing will support their grant applications. A lot of grant applications get passed over because they don't have a lot of substance, and this report's really going to provide that information. And yeah, let's just look at the existing conditions. So obviously, it's in really desperate shape at this point. We have work on buildings in this condition. They're very difficult to come back from. We're not going to make any specific recommendations right now. We've got about 30% draft in the master plan feasibility stage right now. But we have evaluated the building. We've measured this existing building, the footprint. We've documented what we can reach. We've also kind of evaluated how it's falling. You know, without the roof, you have accelerated deterioration. The walls start trying to splay out without the roof. So we have a really good understanding of how it's coming down. Obviously, we've lost 25% of it at this point. And you can just show the photos to see what the existing condition is on the inside. Mainly all of the building is coming down towards the interior. This is the first floor. All of the building materials is captured in the basement at this point. And it's quite deteriorated. We do have the original water fountain, which is intact. Okay, so what I would really like to bring to everyone's attention is really the 4 options we're looking at for this master plan. You know, we've got 4 approaches to this site, and again, this is all dependent on community feedback, also to fiscal viability, what's involved with each of the phases. The first one is you consider restoration of historic building, where you literally just bring the building fully back to what it was. That's the highest bar, it's the most expensive path. You need to make sure you have a very good program for the building to warrant that kind of expense and effort. The second thing we're looking at is rehabilitation of the remaining walls, and this kind of gets a little interesting. Maybe we just end up, you know, retaining what's there, stabilizing the remains. Maybe we interpret the site with the walls coming down a little lower so it's not a danger to the public. We stabilize the ruins in a way that allows the public to approach the building and maybe interact with it in some way that, you know, the community would be interested in using the site for. We have also demolition. We have to really look at the, you know, condition of the building. It may not be fiscally viable to do really anything with the site at this point if we don't have a good program for it. And so demolition is definitely an option that could be considered, and then at that point we would lay out a path for how could we respect the history of the site, how could we, you know, maintain its story in a way if the site was developed in some new manner. So this is kind of a photograph. I'm kind of wanting to just talk about the work that our team's been doing so far. The photograph on the right, the historic photograph, dates to the early 1900. The CAD reconstruction is work that our team has done in measuring the building. So we've been on site, we've measured the remains, we've used photographic documentation, we are using historic imagery too, to reconstruct the building in CAD as measured drawings. This action unto itself is extremely desirable because at least we capture the building, the proportions, the dimensions, everything about the building before it's completely lost. And that's just for posterity, and you know, you can keep the information in the archives, and we've captured a bit of history even if we lose the building. That's not really just a photograph on the left. We've actually We have over 100 hours, which you're about to see in the animation we're gonna show next, 100 hours of recreating the building, and I had just had them side by side so that you could see how accurate our drawings were compared to the historic photos. So if you could, that may take a moment, because it's a really big video. Be sure to look through the windows when you're looking at this animation, because literally the animation, you can walk through the inside and see what the interior looks like. So we've really got a lot of hours in getting this video created for y'all. And a museum, this can certainly be used in future exhibits and things.
Is it a large file?
It is it's a large file. Historically, it didn't have that many lights in the walls, but we needed them to be able to show.
It used to be everywhere. They were totally self-sufficient.
And we've literally counted every coursing of brick and mortar joint.
And the shingles as well.
And shingles.
It's amazing.
It really is.
So, just real quick, I just wanted to, in the next slide, show what some of the options are for the site. If we don't obviously go for a full restoration, we can stabilize the ruins and maybe infill with modern construction and use the site as a building that gets used for a new purpose or, a new program. And so we're hoping to work through that with the museum. What would the program be for this site? Not just the building, but, how do we, bring it back to life in some way? And so these are just examples of how you can preserve the historic ruins and then interject new construction around it. This was Sam Houston. This is Sam Houston State University. The building burned down in 1982.
It's old
And
man.
this was how they chose to interpret the remains of
That's
their
old
historic
man.
building. And this is really nice. It's this part.
We were there when it burned.
It's a really nice way of capturing what was there without the expense of rebuilding it. Fort McCavick, we have the Buffalo Soldiers reenactors. This is another way of preserving, the remains in place. Maybe we don't do any new construction, we just stabilize what's there and make it safe for the public to approach, and then maybe the site is used for some other purpose, community events, or build new development around it. And then again, here is an example of, this is one of the outbuildings at one of the San Antonio missions. You can do this. I kind of also see this as a possibility. And then here we've just looked in a site plan for y'all so that you can understand we've got 11.5 acres to work with, and you can see the scale of the building within the boundaries of the site. It's quite a large amount of land that could be developed in a productive and contributing way. So these are just, to follow with y'all quickly is just, we're going to focus on what the city's interest is in preserving the site. We want to know to what degree the city's willing to invest in its preservation and what the resources and funding might be. We have no answers to these questions. We're just trying to reach out and let y'all know this project's happening, and we want this information coming in so we come up with a feasibility study for y'all that functions. I did want to point out that it's 19,000 square foot building when it was new. That is about the size of the Houston County Courthouse. This is a very large structure, so we would need to have a really robust program if we did a restoration. Also, too, we kind of wanted to be able to talk about, what if it was reconstructed or some structure was infilled in some way? How would the city be able to use it? Would the city use it? Could the city use it and lease it to the private sector? Maybe they're, are they open to a public-private partnership, maybe with a developer? We're just going to ask those questions, lay them out there as options of a way of approaching developing the site. We have a big question from the museum that's come in is, would the city be interested in development of a large-scale African-American art and cultural history center? We've got a good resource in this, in this community. If, they created a viable academic program in that direction, could it be supported? and then I've already touched on GDP, if you're interested in that. So that's pretty much it. We wanted to just, introduce this project. We did have the survey passed out. We were hoping it could be made available to the general public, and someone out there to talk to us. And one thing we wanted to ask is, would the city consider forming a Allen Seminary task force to participate in this process? We could have a few memberships, a few members from the community that were in leadership positions that could maybe, give us feedback on, where the city's resources and capabilities were, and, maybe we could find somebody that had museum resources to bring to the table, or, academic development if it was to turn into a technical school or something. Maybe somebody with construction development or a developer, site. Local story. I don't know. I just really like a direct avenue that feeds into the project.
I think at this point, we're looking, we're reading, we're researching and trying to get a feel of it. In terms of the city taking rooms with the task force, I think at this time we're kind of have to give a little more consideration and detail to it. It might need to be steered and include us, but not directly. I don't think right now at this point we have the we have the love, we have the concern, but we don't have that time, because as you know, the resources, I think that was the magic word, the resources in terms of the number of staff that we have. So I think even going as a task force for the community, because it will involve, and even the county, as you mentioned it earlier, it could broaden into that scope. But right now, I don't think it's a designated person that could really chair something at this time. But we do want to be a part of it, and we do want to consider. And like I said, there was a lot to consider, and we do want something to happen there, because it's a lot of history that has gone in and a lot of work that went into that. And so it's not forgotten. My mother was a big contributor of it. She loved the place. She went to school there, sent my brother there for a little while, and so it's always been so important to the community. It's not going to die. We're just going to have to take some small steps till we get to the point where we can do what we can. But I think the idea of a task force is a need. And that way, regardless of who heads it up, that it could and be inclusive of the community and of the different organizations. And I think it would be a lot more effective than assigning it to just the city as a whole. Thank you so much for your interaction.
Thank you again for coming and sharing the insight concerning Mary Allen. Mayor, I do agree with you that we would like other organizations within the city to be a part of this task force. So it's not just on the shoulders of the city, like your councilman and everything, and councilwomen, but it would be something where everybody can participate, and different organizations can have a leader on that, so that everybody would have a buy-in into the project.
I love that.
And at this time, I'd just like to say we just give God the glory. We thank you for allowing us to come and participate. We do have a survey here, and we've given each one of you as well a survey. We would like to take those surveys back with us. However, if we do not get a chance to fill it out right now, you can mail it into the Mary Allen Museum at 2018 at the end of the sheet. It'll let you know. May God bless our city. May God bless America. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. What we could do, we can actually, if everybody doesn't get filled, we can turn them in to the secretary, and she'll just mail them as from all of us.
Okay, thank you so much.
It would work. And thank you. I'm just so real excited about the great things that's going to come out of this. Thank you so much, Doctor. We're Dr. Minister Douglas. We thank you so much. And that brings us down up to item number 7, public hearing on proposed budget of the city of Crockett for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. I'll give you it's safe to put mine in. Oh, I'm sorry. The hearing is officially open. He's waiting for me to open it. At this time, if you would like to address, and this is an open session, if you have some concerns about the budget or whatever, it's open for you to come to the mic and you may address those concerns or just general information that you'd like to share. It's already been posted.
Again, I know I addressed it earlier, but please, can we get some infrastructure on the ditch? And I do have pictures on my phone, 3 different incidents where it flooded, and Christopher Hardo is down here, and so it was like I said, over knee deep when he came and put the barricade up. And the infrastructure, the water is going down, it's supposed to go this way, and it's going that way. And I have pictures of both sides of the water coming together. So please consider that in the budget.
Okay, the budget, in terms of what the actual projects are, the funding has just been put into, the funding has been put into categories, and that's what the budget is going to reflect, not so much specific detail, but that is something that you can come and discuss.
It's not like, it's not personal, the street.
No, I said not personal. I said in specific details.
Okay.
It won't outline each street like that, the part that you just saw. It just said money is dedicated to this area.
Okay.
And so, but that is one you can bring up. That doesn't go away. So you can always come up while we're discussing the details later.
And I'll touch on that. That has been forwarded. TxDOT has committed to redesigning that, and because that's all TxDOT street and roadway there, and so they have committed. They are doing the re-engineering on that site,
Well,
and then they're going to bid it out.
Friday around 4, and they said they were going to assist you all, that they are not doing the project themselves. So, like I said, from 2021, it's been back and forth. So,
I'll check in with them. That's what they had told me, so
Yes.
I'll check in with them.
Does anyone else?
I'd just like to say briefly, Ms. Hicks, when you speak to the mayor, we can't hear you, because you speak away from the mic. The mic's in front of you to speak into so the public can hear you. The mayor can hear you, all you have to do is speak into the mic. You don't
All right.
have to lean over to her.
This is for the budget. Okay, this is not open for reprimanding or reminding. This is open to discuss the budget. And, I mean, those are things that you do in public. Okay, well, you've already said that. I mean, this is part of the budget. If it is a directly report, I appreciate your input. That 3 minutes you can come up and do at the end. But right now we're discussing the budget. That's what the hearing is about. Does anyone have any input related to the budget? It is a minimum time on it. Did you need anything?
I'll discuss it during our next item.
Okay. If there's no public input at this time directly related to the budget items or the conversation related to the budget, then I'm going to close the session. Nothing said? Session closed. Okay, that would bring us to item number 8. Consider and approve an ordinance making appropriations for the support of the city of Crockett for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 and ending September 30, 2025, appropriating money to sinking fund to pay interest and principal due on the city's indebtedness and adopting the annual budget of the city of Crockett for fiscal year 2025. Open.
Mayor and Council, we have the ordinance before you. Just as a recap, this budget is the budget that will fund some of the new items that this budget is funding on top of our existing operations. Is an additional firefighter position, utility clerk position, animal shelter attendant, and that will be within our normal maintenance and operations of our budget. This budget will also allow for the operations of an animal shelter, and this budget also increases our street maintenance fund or line item by $60,000. This budget also provides for a base rate increase of 52 cents an hour for all employees, or an average of 2% COLA. The proposed ad valorem tax rate is .6362 cents on the $100 value, and 0.5019 of it will be maintenance and operations, and 1.1343 per hundred for debt service. City cash reserves, and I'll touch on it a little bit at our next meeting in September. However, we just completed our credit, re-rating of our credit by S&P Global, and they have reaffirmed our A credit rating, which is greatly improved. In 2022, we actually established our first A rating, and we've been able to reaffirm it at a stable A rating. And so we've solidified that. A lot of it is basically really adding to our cash reserves, operating conservatively. We are required to maintain at least, in order to get any rating, to maintain a 25% of our operational budget in cash reserves, a rainy day fund that we can draw down on in the event of emergencies, and we're at 34% now. And so we've really solidified that, and they liked that rating. That also helps us on when we do go out and borrow money for these bonds to get really good interest rates. Other than that, we have a good budget. This budget is based on no new revenue rate built into our tax revenue. So our tax rate has established the same amount of tax revenue as we brought in last year, with no increases. So we've decreased our tax rate from 68 cents to 63 cents.
Good.
Now,
Okay.
Judge.
I got three things.
Okay.
Okay. So, sorry that I wasn't able to be here the last meeting. I was on a vacation, so well-needed vacation. And I wanted to be here to speak with the water district and the garbage, okay? So, the water district's still going up 4% on us, right? 4%.
Currently, that's what's been proposed, yes.
Okay, so we're going to eat that.
This budget does not pass it on to the public. Yes,
Okay, so, and I had made mention that if they're going to go up 4%, it would only be on the water we use, not on the million gallons of water we don't use. Okay? So I would like to go back to the drawing board. Either they don't go up and we do like we're doing now, or we go up 4% and we only pay for the water we use. Why would we pay for water we don't use? Why? They say we have a contract. We say we don't. That's one thing. Okay? All right, the garbage. They're going up 3% because they said diesel's gone up and this and that. Well, diesel has not gone up since last year. It's actually come down. Okay? So we will be sending out RFPs next year, 2025, for renewals. If they come back in next year below what they did this year to try to get us again, it's not going to work. So they either need, when we submit RFPs next year and they come back in lower, why can't you do that now? I mean, simple. So, what else was it? Water, garbage. Okay, that'd be good. So, both of them, I would like to reach out with both and see what they want to do. Like I said, why are we paying for water we don't use? And if you're going up, go up on what we use, not on what we don't use. Why are we buying water we don't use anyway, period? So that would save a lot of money,
Yeah, if you get out of the contract, I guess.
a lot of money.
Did you have? We've already, I mean, it wasn't anything added or changed from the budget that we discussed.
No.
That we'd already discussed.
Yeah, I do want to ask real quick. On the, you said the operations budget for the, and I'm asking on behalf of, because we know it's not any revenue coming from the animal shelter. So what is our operational, what cost, overall cost, will it take to operate the animal shelter for, do we have a proposed plan or?
Yes, ma'am, it's in the budget.
Okay.
You had projected.
It was,
Yeah.
right offhand, it's about 55,000 with our, with the materials and supplies, utilities, and the,
Staff.
the attendant staff, and, yes, ma'am, it was right at 55,000.
Okay, and that's even with the veterinarian as well, or what?
Yes, that's no,
Okay.
and that's no
Okay.
cost.
Okay.
That's if we are able to negotiate a contract with her, with the veterinarian.
Okay, now what about without?
Then we'll have to negotiate it with some of our other local veterinarians. We have a draft with her and our attorney currently that we'll be bringing to council. I feel pretty good about it. She's definitely committed.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any other?
I'm good.
Okay, so that brings us to do we take a vote on that one? Is
Yes,
that where we are?
On number 8.
On number 8. Everyone has an opportunity to review it. Can we get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve this, going back to the drawing board with these two companies.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your motion.
He's asked to speak with the other two companies, but he's making a motion to approve the
I'll make
ordinance.
a motion to approve it,
Okay.
as long as we can speak with the other two companies, or I can. Nobody else wants to.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, brings us to number 9, a public hearing on 2024 tax rate. The hearing is now officially open. Once again, you have the opportunity to voice your opinion. Mic is open, hot mic, mic is open. If you have any concerns, comments.
Is that referring to the no new tax rate?
Yeah, that's what we can. Okay, the council had already had an opportunity. Does anyone from the public have any comments? Going once, twice? Oh, do you? Okay.
We'd like to show our appreciation for the amount of effort and work that you put into making it so that we had no new revenue rates. That took some real numbers and figures, and it's something that I know the council has been looking forward to for a long time. We appreciate that you did this.
Thank you. Okay, any other comments? If not, hearing is officially closed. And it brings us to item number 10. Consider and approve an ordinance levying Valorum tax for use in support of the municipal government of the city of Crockett for fiscal year 2025, providing for appropriate apportioning each levy for specific purposes, and providing when taxes shall become due and when same become delinquent if not paid.
Okay, need a little clarity on that.
Yes. Okay, so, council, once again, this is the no new revenue rate. When broken down in a M&O, which is maintenance and operations, and debt service, there's two categories. The appraisal district did recalculate our debt service rate because the last, and I'll pull up here, the last 3 years on item 44. So 508,600 is what it takes to pay this next year's debt. 508,600. However, using the last 3 years of actual collection rates, they averaged the last three at 96% collection for debt service. So that has to be built. That 4% of uncollected on average from the previous 3 years gets to be rolled forward to this next year to ensure that we do collect enough to cover our debt. And so that's part of the calculation rate. So the debt rate that we'll be collecting to account for the missing 4% will be 529,791. So that brings that's where the total debt and maintenance operations add up to 63.62 cents. .6362 on the $100 values.
It's just saying that you won't, there's no forgiveness.
I'll make a motion to approve the tax rate.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. All in favor? Motion carries. Let's look at that. And it's, consider and approve 2024 tax roll, item 11.
Mayor and Council, I emailed that out to y'all. We got that from the appraisal district, and I emailed it, but I also have a hard copy. It's obviously quite a bit to go through, but if you want to question the appraisal district on any of that, they have certified the tax roll and submitted it to us, though. And that's what is, those are the calculations being used to calculate our tax rate as well.
I make a motion to approve the 2024 tax roll.
A second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor? Motion carries. Item number 12, consider and approve a resolution of the City Council of City of Crockett, Texas, authorizing the submission of the Texas Community Development Block Grant Program application to the Texas Department of Agriculture for the Community Development Fund. Council?
Mayor and Council, this is a CDBG program for this next year that we're submitting for. This is the initial intent from the council authorizing us to submit. We've submitted several, depending on the amount that we're actually approved for. We submitted several projects that are within our sanitary sewer overflow initiative. Different projects that were identified as problematic areas where we're taking on I&I or water, stormwater into our sewer system. And one of the primary areas identified is along the backside of Salas, between West Goliad to West Houston. We have two main interceptors there that we've had problems and expenses this last year. And so that will far exceed the grant amount. Once we're given the grant amount and approved, then we'll, with our engineers, dial in the project to the amount that we're actually going to be able to get through grant. And I can come back to y'all if we have some other pots of money to help share the cost on it. But this allows us to submit the project. It's a $750,000 grant.
Okay, I'll make a motion to consider and approve the resolution of the CBDG grant program.
I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and second. All in favor? Motion carries. Item number 13, update on lead service line inventory program and approve funding if necessary from utility reserve.
Mayor, Council, this is our lead service line inventory that initially EPA pushed it out to the states. They've sent it on to TCEQ, being our governing regulatory body, is requiring us to perform an assessment or an inventory of all of our lines and to verify if any of them are existing lead lines. It was banned in 1988 for the use in construction of homes and hydrants and so forth. I know from since I've been here, anytime that we do go into a situation where we have to swap out or install a new water meter, primarily our water meter program in the early, in 2020 when we put all new water meters in, most of those, anytime we ran into a lead service line, we completely removed it out of the ground, went back to the main with a new line. So we're not aware of existing lead lines, but we have to do a complete inventory to certify that there are no lead lines. And I'm asking for some assistance for us to go out and acquire a contractor to come in and help us. There are some contractors that have testing equipment that doesn't require full excavation of around the meter on both sides. You have to see the city side and the customer side and verify the type of material used, PVC, galvanized, copper, lead. And so they have testing equipment that can go in there a lot quicker than we can and have to excavate the whole area to certify it. And our only method is really the scratch test and certain things like that. We don't have that equipment. So I'd like to find somebody that has that equipment that can go in and do this inventory for us. We've uploaded an entire layer on our GIS mapping system, where when we do hire this company to come in, they will be able to do GPS locates on every one of our meters and implement that into our software as well. So there's some pretty good programs out there that can help us get this done. And I'm asking for assistance for us to go out and get bids, and I'll bring that back to you.
One is for the safety, our safety. You don't want lead in your pipes, not good.
Actually, I misspoke on that. When we worded this, due to the time, it was recommended if y'all could provide me with a not to exceed amount, I would prefer that, and let us go out for bids. I will provide y'all the bid results and the costs. But with an October 16th deadline to submit this, any time that I can save and not wait for a future council meeting to approve it, I would like council to approve me to get costs and go with the cheapest bid, as long as they can provide it and have good references. We may not.
How would we know a figure? I mean,
so you get my recommendation. We have right now, right at 3,000 meter connections. If we estimated on 3,000 meter connections, we were speaking without getting bids from anybody, but we spoke with a contractor that does this and asked him for an estimate, and he normally charges up to $10 per meter. So that would be a budget of about 30,000. So if you gave me a not to exceed, and then we can get better quotes in.
Well, that gives us a better idea of a figure.
Yeah. And so if we do get better quotes in, then $10 per meter, then we could dial it back to that.
Okay.
And of course, they'll be insured and bonded. We're not going to pay them unless they do the project.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So.
Can we get a motion?
Well, I make a motion that we allow our city administrator to go seek the services to test and not in the testing not to exceed $10 per meter.
Okay.
A second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay. Item number 14, award bid Crockett Library sidewalk retaining wall project and approve funding to be awarded from American Rescue Plan Act proceeds.
Mayor and council, we spoke about this, and any council members that was able to meet with me at the library, I showed them. We have some pretty significant concerns with our access and parking at our library. And we spoke about that during the capital request portion of our budget. And so, as you see here, this sidewalk that faces Goliad, it's undermining considerably. We're losing dirt out from underneath it. It's washing out into the street. These culverts that come from this these gutter systems from the building itself, they're packed. So what I'd like to do is here rebuild this whole front of this sidewalk and put a retaining wall in, a cinder block retaining wall that would match. We've actually found, and you'll see in your quotes in your bid packet, we received one quote for the split face tan split face cinder blocks that kind of have a rough texture to it, more of a design to it, and it's tan instead of gray. And they're a little bit. It costs a little bit more, but it would also really enhance and tie in that building with it being brown, brown colored brick. So the quote that we received had two options for gray and for brown. This parking lot here, once we get this retaining wall will come down here, up the side of this parking lot, down the side of this building, and across this whole back. All this dirt is washing out and continues to be undermined. The corners of these buildings, the concrete foundation is undermining underneath the building. So we really need to stop that the flow of water from pushing all this dirt out so we can backfill it. In that same quote, once we're done, we'll have a retaining wall, and I'll show you in these other pictures. This parking lot out here, we can put some hot mix coal asphalt and increase parking. This sidewalk here will be terminated with steps. There'll be steps here to where you can use the sidewalk. You don't slip down the dirt. You can see here where it's undermining underneath the sidewalk. This sidewalk right here will be terminated. Right here, we're going to cut it back and terminate it into ADA access. It's currently, the grade on it is not correct. These bushes all the way down the side of this building, it will all be taken out, and that sidewalk will be completed all the way over to the building itself. Along this side, we're going to have cinder block retaining wall all the way down this sidewalk. It's about 3 foot tall. The Monroe Crook House property is about 3 foot taller than our property, and all of that water washes leaves and silt and mud every time it rains. And this is all a slip hazard. All of this will be closed in with sidewalks all the way around with a retaining wall. The high side will have a retaining wall, and the bottom side will all be sidewalked in. That way we can get all this mud and silt off this building, get it pressure washed and be clean. The sidewalk will extend all the way around and come down to this parking lot. And it's not ADA access, it'll be steps, so we still have our ADA access on the front for all of our customers or any employees that require ADA, but this will also be additional parking availability that we currently maximize. We've outgrown our parking.
What about the drainage, that rain that flows from the actual building?
Yes, all those on the sidewalk itself, where the main entrance is, all of those will terminate and not terminate onto dirt, on mud, which that's causing the problem, is because that it's coming down and just the water's pouring out on mud and washing it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll terminate on the concrete. It'll have to be maintained for mildew and build up, pressure wash it every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
that'll allow it to flow.
Not under the
So we have drainage? I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we do have,
Set up?
right here, all along the sidewalk, we have multiple storm drains connections here that go around and terminate out on Goliad. So
You talking about the
The
one
dr-
that was underneath the ground
Mhm.
that we looked at? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions?
So in that bid, we did seal bids. We only received two bids. I felt they were very reasonable with the square footage, the square foot per, for concrete and for cinder blocks. And I would note that if we do approve it, y'all decide whether we want the split face tan cinder block, the tan, or the gray.
So when will we be able to see the seal bid? So you have-
They're in the packet, yes, ma'am.
So we got,
It's on page
24.
23.
23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
Oh, they were-
yeah, I mean,
there it is.
I've got the,
On page 23 is where the vendor, the spreadsheet of the breakdown is.
so,
The tan is 24,900, and the gray, this includes materials and labor, is 19,900. So it's $5,000 difference for the tan block.
so what is the 13,007?
The 1307 is all the sidewalks, the steps, the ramp that goes around, and the footer. Everywhere we put a cinder block wall, a retaining wall, we're gonna have to dig down and build a footing.
The 24,900 plus the 13?
Yes, sir.
And then the gray's 19,900.
Plus the 13. The 13 includes all the footer,
And then this other one here,
that's the actual bid itself.
or this,
Or what they're actually gonna do.
the other company that,
Yes.
their total is 24,900?
24,900 for the tan,
19.9 for the
and
gray.
19,900 for the regular gray.
All right, and then sidewalk?
And then the sidewalk is a $13,007.
Okay, so that was, so this is the one.
And
Yes.
the next one
And
is
we got
32.
another bid, you said?
It's before that one. No, right after that page there is this. We've only got one bid on sidewalks and one bid on cinder blocks on the retaining wall. We got two bids. We did a seal bid.
Okay, one on the sidewalk. The other one did the same people.
it's just-
This is the same person.
One
You
bid it
know.
on one and one bid it on the
This is the
other.
block
Yeah.
guy on,
Yeah,
and this is the sidewalk
The
guy.
other one's at Allen.
This
Okay.
is for the
There's
sidewalks.
two bids,
and
but
then
not
this
for the
one is
same
the
thing.
cinder
Yeah.
blocks.
Oh, two separate.
Two, yeah. One is
Oh,
for the
okay.
One's for the
drainage
sidewalk and one's
wall,
for the,
and the other one is for the sidewalk.
So did they not want to give a bid for the overall project?
Neither one, the concrete, the sidewalk guy, he didn't lay block, and the
Okay.
block guy doesn't, of course,
doesn't do sidewalk.
Well, you'll probably get a better job if they do what they do
Okay.
best.
Most of them, if we do a general contractor, they're gonna go out and get bids and add a markup and then pass it on to us. And so if we hire them both directly, we're getting,
The best man.
So for the tan on the block, and then the sidewalk, would be 37,907.
37,907 for the total.
Yeah.
And that's for all the sidewalks, expanding the sidewalks all the way to the building, busting all those, the old sidewalks out, putting your retaining walls down both sides of the building and around the back, and adding sidewalk, and I also forgot, I don't know if this one, on, it's not on here, but it also has another access down to the eye clinic side.
No, that's
The-
good, because you can't
The
get.
sidewalk just stops
No, it stops.
midair and about a 4-foot jump, so
That it is.
that'll terminate it all with sidewalks, and we'll put rails,
But that's good.
some guard pipes.
So we're basically hiring both contractors?
That would be my recommendation, yes, ma'am.
And so there's no choice. So there's really no choice. I mean.
Pretty
Yeah, I mean,
No,
you know, they're just,
not
yeah,
as-
they on the.
not as
they
far
have
as the
no-
bids are
nobody-
Yeah, that's what I'm
concerned.
saying. There's
Yeah,
no-
nobody.
There's no choice because we need all of it done.
Yeah, we do. Okay. So, yeah. So we're going with gray or tan?
I would say 10, and that's the building.
Okay.
I don't know how gray would look up against that
Yeah,
building.
I think 10.
Paint
So we do tan?
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
gray
Put
would.
gray and paint it.
I can paint it if you want it.
No, we're not going there.
You can get there are some brown stains. I don't know how.
No, we'll.
I can't guarantee it, but I'll try. If you want a
We're
gray,
gonna go
or you want to try.
10 and, well, okay.
Okay.
Can we get a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we'll award the bid for the retaining wall and the sidewalk project to the two bidders that we received.
And the retaining wall, do you want it brown or gray?
Brown.
Brown.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Tan. Okay.
Tan, yes.
All right, we have a motion on the floor.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor? Motion carries. Okay. Man, I gotta find my, a lot of stuff tonight. I looked at it. Retaining wall. Okay, that brings us to, item number 15. Award Crockett Animal Shelter renovation and approve funding to be awarded from the American Rescue Plan Act proceeds.
Mayor and Council, we also put the remainder work that needs to be done at the animal shelter. We finished the interior painting. Now we have flooring that needs to be installed. We're going to put, we need commercial flooring, ceiling tile. The ceiling tile is in pretty bad shape right now, sagging and contributes to a lot of the smell in there. They did paint already the metal track that the suspended ceiling hangs on, so all we need to do is replace that ceiling tile. Painting the both of the kennels. They'll go in there and scrape and paint the interior of the kennels and the exterior of the animal shelter. The whole exterior of the animal shelter with the color to be, decided and approved. I'll bring y'all a few colors but we need to go ahead and move forward with that if we're going to try to open it, get that wrapped up and open. But this pretty much finishes out the needs for the animal shelter. We did get 3 bids. David Tire Construction, Glenn Henry, and 4L Construction.
And these were sealed bids as well?
No, ma'am, these were not. We went out there and met with these people. This requires a lot of more custom approach, and a lot can be, if you don't have it engineered, but specific to square footage and things of that nature, sealed bids would end up throwing us into lots of change orders where, oh, hey, we saw this also, and we saw this. And so if we don't have it engineered, I would recommend with this amount, we're required to anything over 50,000. I tried to do it with any significant numbers, but these were not sealed bids. We reached out and tried to. We asked a lot of other contractors, but these are the 3 that replied to us.
So, 4L Construction is 38.
4L Construction is $38,050.
The other one's a 32.
Glenn Henry is $32,400, and David Tire is $32,000.
Okay.
He went in there and he also had, what we did is two of the contractors did not want to do fencing because we needed some fencing done. At this time for the operations, it's not necessary that we get the fence done. We really need we decided later that we need to reassess our operations out there before we committed ourselves to certain fence lines. And so we went back and asked them to remove their fences out of the bid. So that's why you see Tire Construction, he removed part of his cost, and this is the lower cost with no fencing in it. And all of them are apples to apples.
All 3 of the bids?
Yes, sir.
Well, Tires is as cheap as, I'll make a motion, we'll go with Tires Construction.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and second, all in favor?
So we just,
Oh,
I was looking at what each one offered, instead of just going with the cheaper.
Same.
they're all offering the same.
They're all offering the flooring. We put in a minimum requirement of 30 millimeter thickness commercial tile 20 millimeters is kind of standard from Lowe's, Home Depot. We went to 30 due to the amount of traffic and dogs and things of that nature, sand and grit. We get a minimum of 30 millimeter, suspended ceiling tiles, replacing those, and all the paint work and the concrete work. Everything was apples to apples.
So is there any difference in the material that each contractor using, or they using pretty much using the same?
Yes, sir. The painting will be our 2 coats of oil-based primer and 1 coat of paint on the exterior or the interior of the kennels. The exterior of the building will be caulked and primed to 2 colors, finished with 2 colors and 2 coats of paint. Everything is going to be, you know, like I say, unless you go out and engineer and provide engineer specs, they're about as apples and apples as we can get to. I feel pretty confident in all 3 of these that we'll get the same work or the same quality of work and the same.
We got a motion and a second. Yeah, we have a motion and a second. We're ready to vote. All in favor? Yes. Okay, motion carries.
3.
Yeah, 3.
There was no vote.
Okay, item number 16, consider and approve design for welcome signs and allow city administrator to seek seal bids.
Mayor and council, we've discussed this for a couple years, and I need to know how council feels about proceeding forward with the design and or the allowing me to go out for bids. This will be seal bids. We'll have the design and specifications published, and we'll go out and get bids from, and we do have some local sign people too that we feel that would bid on it and give us a good price. This is we had several designs that I submitted to y'all in emails, and as I got responses back from y'all, we've kind of incorporated those responses into the sign and narrowed it down. There was one comment about adding, are we good on keeping the Paradise and the Pines, or did we want to consider the all roads lead to Crockett?
I think the Paradise and the Pine.
The road, you said the roads or the Paradise?
I think Paradise.
I mean, that's our tradition. We don't wanna, we can
I'm
put some arrows to all roads.
I got 6 different, advices and.
Now, Wayne Williams used to say all roads lead to.
Yeah. And
Not too
I
far
looked it up, and the
from
only one I
there.
found was roads lead to Rome. I didn't find another one in Texas, so that wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I like the.
But, if that's what we're gonna stick with, I would really like to use this towards our branding on our vehicles, on our uniforms, really stick with.
I like Paradise and the Pine. We won't have many pines left.
Only thing, I just have a question on, because we was talking about how many signs.
So just what I would like to do is go out for design, or get the specifications and go out for bid, so I actually know the cost. One of our signs can be built into our Angelina College backdrop. We have right there on the old Angelina College sign. I think, and since it's publicly owned property that we could use, maybe we incorporate something kind of a hybrid of that on an established. That's going to save us some money. We've also had a local contractor that has been doing all of our state infrastructure, that's doing all the construction on Bell and Fifth. He's offered to donate one of these signs.
Oh, that's cool.
Crockett Construction, he's offered to make a donation to fund for one of these signs. I think once I have a goal, a budget, this is what it's going to cost, then we could see if there's any other people that want to contribute to a sign, as well as see what our resources are, whether we fund this under current reserves, contingencies, and see where, you know, I can help develop the plan for that if y'all can let me know, hey, we're good with this, let's move forward with this. But otherwise, I'm kind of talking, you know, I can't really get quotes or costs on this. This sign here would be all solid stone, not any veneer. This is a long-lasting sign. If we were to build this, it would be solid and natural stone, concrete capped. The sign itself would be steel, would be a solid plate with all the cutouts, and we could do some either backlit or floodlighting on the face of it. One thing I would like to do, if y'all did pick design 2, I like design 1, but design 2, we could also put the 1837 as part of the sign, like kind of down in this. We could put incorporated 1837 there. You like 2?
I like 2 better than 1.
You like what?
He said he likes 2 better than 1.
I do.
Because you can put,
Well,
there you could, and it's kind of
Crockett's
neat.
more profound. I mean, it's more.
Legible, and here, I really like the idea of putting 1830, not a lot of cities can say 1837 or 1800s, you know, even
It
on
has,
their.
yeah. It is
so.
the shape is a nicer shape on 2, even though I like.
This one gave a little, it has a little bit of more original, authentic look to it, but it's a little, it's busy, maybe.
The writing is light. That's a stronger writing. So, did we pick 1 or 2? I think everybody picked one. We picked some.
I hadn't chosen one.
But anyway, are you gonna submit both of them?
I would like y'all to tell me.
Well, they both would work, but I like 2.
I like 2. Anybody else like 2?
I like 2.
You like 2? You like 2?
So you're gonna move the
And they gonna put that
1837 up under Paradise in the Pines? Yeah.
I make a motion, we allow our city administrator to seek seal bids on sign number 2.
I second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
Okay. Ooh, Lord. Item number 17, consider and approve payment of invoices from Economic and Industrial Development Corporation. We have them. I think everybody got an opportunity.
I've looked at them, yeah.
It's only on this one. Made my lipstick up. That's quite a bit of it. I'm serious. Yeah, we will. I think it's better. Nobody torturing people. Have you had it, Jim? Oh.
That's the last invoice for the corrective action for the bylaw review that they're doing.
Okay, it's, can we get a motion? To approve? Okay, on the bills, the economic development, can we get a motion to approve? I mean, not approve, a motion. Yeah, to approve or disapprove. So we have no motion.
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the bills. We got it down.
Okay, can we get a second?
A second.
It's been moved and second, all in favor? Okay, motion carried. Okay, we're gonna pay some bills around here, all right. Praise the Lord, we're paying. Okay, we got a treat for you tonight. Item number 18. Executive Section Government, CODE Code 551071, consultation with attorney regarding petition and special election. Today, we will not usher you out into the heat. We will let you sit here and be on the best of behavior, and we will adjourn to another room. We thought y'all might like that one, right?
I think we're going in here.
If we get the, oh, sorry about that, we're gonna go to,
Going in here.
the officers there.
Hey, I'm on.
Oh, Lord. Take 5.
Why don't we take 10?
That's why I don't see how girls with ones. I can't even figure that out. I had a onesie on that day. I had a jumpsuit. I did the best I could. What is this? We ain't got no
It's law that it has to be done, even if it's not written down. Yeah, you're right as far as this. So actually, what it's saying is adding. Petition doesn't say that about the that's basically the same. No, you're right, it doesn't say that, but I think that because the law is automatically in there. Well, I think that part's not a problem, but the other additional, that's the situation. Show where that. Out there just praising. Everyone's called a little sugar is good. This is the kitchen with 5 of the sugar that you can't spend. That's what it is. There we go.
Oh, no, sir, that's not.
That's what they. Other than that. Which if they do it across the board, then. That's it. Well, that's the thing, is if it's, well, that's a lot of places we reach out. The opportunities for the hotels. That's what I'm saying. as long as the purpose is supported. machines, like if you use it for the property.
You know, those cash, you have to pay off those cash.
I mean, that's, no, but they're intended, they can't use that, that actually basically rules it to pay the house. You have to, I mean, that's a commitment they make.
I think he said here.
That's kind of, yeah, good.
22.
Everything else. Okay, well, my glasses. I can't even see what's on this sheet of paper. So, what did you say?
If you read, you can read, you can do this one here, but just do. And that would be repealed.
Question.
Repeal, and you can read those.
Question. So 19.
I recommend that we don't take an action, that we don't make a motion to approve it or rescind it. No action and no action.
And so I just read it and nobody act. Whew. If y'all are tired as I am, okay. That brings us to item number 19. Consider and approve petition received on August 12, 2024 and certified by City Secretary. I just read 19.
This might be a good time to deal with it.
Okay, at this time, just for explanation's sake, Mr. Bill, would you like to give a comment?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a problem with the petition that was presented to City Council. And the problem is that the petition combined two different propositions. One is termination of the CEIDC. The other one is raise the tax rate. Now, however, the City Council can, if it wants to, move to have a vote to terminate the existence, whether to terminate the existence of CEIDC, and have another vote whether to repeal or adopt another sales tax for property tax relief. So it's just basically a simple question of law. And the City Council can, if it wants to, call election tonight on both those matters.
Okay. Item number 19. No. Does anyone have a motion for 19?
Okay. 19 dies for lack of a motion. Item number 20. Consider and approve a resolution calling for election to terminate the existence of the Crockett Economic Industrial Development Corporation, CEIDC, and abolish the 0.5% local sales and use tax in the city of Crockett, which funds the CEIDC, and adopt the local sales and use tax in the city of Crockett on 0.5% to be used to reduce the property tax rate. Was there a motion? Dies for lack of a motion. Item number 21, consider and approve a resolution calling for election for or against the termination of the Crockett Economic and Industrial Development Corporation in and for the city of Crockett, Texas.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I make a motion for election to terminate the existence of the Crockett Economic and Industrial Development Corporation, CIDC, at the May 3rd, 2025 general election. According to Section 4.02 Municipal Election, Home Rule Charter of the City of Crockett, this is to stipulate other laws such as the Uniform and Overseas Citizen Absentee Voting Act, UOCA VA 42 U.S. Code 1973 FF, which requires election officials to send absentee ballots to registered voters based on the agreed judgment from the Judicial District Judge of Houston County, Texas.
Second it.
That's not on the agenda.
That's not on the, that other stuff wasn't on the agenda.
That's my motion.
Okay, well.
I second it.
Got a motion and a second.
Illegal.
That's not on the agenda. I mean, can't
It's
vote.
not on the agenda. We can't vote on it.
That is my motion to what you have for number 21.
Okay, we can,
Just like you said a while ago, there was a motion and a second up with the last gentleman. That's my motion for that, and have a second.
okay, it's not on the agenda, and that moves us
Have
to.
a motion and a
That
second.
moves us to
I
item.
like Mr. Pimmer to rule on that.
Mr. And
I like Mr. Pimmer to rule on that.
it's not on the
Thank you,
agenda.
sir.
Okay, item number 21.
I'll make a motion, we call for resolution calling for the election for or against the termination of the Crockett Economic Development Industrial.
Okay, we're on 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21.
Make a motion that we call for an election for or against the termination of the Crockett Economic Development Industrial Development Corporation in and for the city of Crockett, Texas.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor?
And that's,
Opposed?
and that's,
Opposed?
okay, so.
And I break it up 4. Item number 22. Consider and approve a resolution calling for an election for the adoption of sales and use tax within the municipality for the promotion and development of the new and expanded business enterprise at the rate of 0.5% and adoption of an additional sales and use tax within the municipality at the rate of 0.5% to be used to reduce the property tax rate in and or for the city of Crockett, Texas.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to table this resolution calling for an election for the adoption of sales tax rates that violates the original articles of the incorporation, and to get a written legal ruling of opinion from Attorney Mr. Pemberton for clarity and a clearer understanding of what's happening here.
I second.
I make a motion.
We need to ask for, we need to final out the motion motion and second for it being tabled. If
Okay.
there's any other members for that.
All in favor? Opposed? Oh, I don't get to vote. Yeah, break the tie, opposed. Okay, item number 22.
I make a motion that we have a resolution calling for the election for the repeal of the sale and use tax within the municipality for the promotion and development of new and expanded business enterprises at the rate of 0.5%, and the adoption of an additional sales and use tax within the municipality at the rate of 0.5% to be used to reduce the property tax rate in and for the city of Crockett.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor? Opposed? Tie? Approved.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Let the sea start. That's enough.
These were the ones.
Oh, no, I think
Y'all share.
that water was open.
You got your pen?
No, you bought them. Oh, I got it. Mayor was on it.
Oh, yeah.
Miss it.